Section 3, we look at marketing technology. In Lesson 2 is about analytics. Digital marketing cannot be dissociated from digital analytics. The two go hand in hand to achieve efficiencies and demonstrate value. In this lesson, you will learn about analytics as an important technology in marketing. Understand the broad categories of metrics useful to marketers. Recognize the complexity of digital analytics technology stack. What is analysis? It's the process of breaking a complex topic into smaller parts to gain a better understanding of it. If we understand the topic, we can measure it, and if we can measure, we can optimize. If you want to optimize your marketing campaigns or your business outcomes, you will have to understand how each small parts are contributing to the bigger picture. The goal is to make the complex simpler. Simply put, it's very difficult to optimize a single big thing by 100%, but you can more easily optimize 100 little things by 1%. With this approach, simpler, smaller, faster benefits leads to exponential outcomes. Measuring success through analytics. Now that we've looked at what is analysis, we can say that analytics is the science of analysis. But how do we define analytics exactly? Avinash Kaushik, who is well known in the industry, defines analytics as the analysis of qualitative and quantitative data from your website and the competition to drive a continual improvement of the online experience that your customers and potential customers have, which translates into desired outcomes. So this definition dates back from 2007. The Digital Analytics Association says web analytics is the measurement, collection, analysis, and reporting of internet data for the purpose of understanding and optimizing web usage, and this dates back to 2008. The way I define analytics is how an organization arrives at an optimal and realistic decision informed by data, and each of those words have their very important meaning. An organization can be a privately or publicly traded company. It can be a startup, a government, academic institution, or a nonprofit. It doesn't really matter. How an organization means that the how term means that we analyze or ask questions. We want to investigate. We want to arrive at a solution, so there's a process involved. And we want to balance the optimal and realistic. The optimal would be the best solution if there were no constraints, but the reality is that we have to factor in the different constraints. So we need to find a balance between optimal and realistic. It's informed by data. It's not necessarily driven by the data. The data is there to inform business decisions. And the data source doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter if it's from the web, from social media, from your sales data, or wherever it might be. The data source is not really important as long as the data is relevant and appropriate for your analysis. And the key term is decision. We want to make some changes. Otherwise, we're not really doing analytics. The three elements of analytics. Analytics requires three ingredients in order to lead to the greatest benefits. First, you need to understand the context. What is the problem you are trying to solve, or what opportunity you want to capture? Second, you will need to identify which type of data is available, be it from online web analytics or back office systems, quantitative or qualitative data like surveys, internal data or external data from census or competitive sources. And finally, even if best practices allow you to provide the initial output, they can only get you so far. To outperform or outsmart your competitors, creativity will lead to original solutions. Of course, managers set the right conditions and influence the components of creativity: expertise, creative thinking skills, and motivation. Let's look at some metrics which will fuel the marketer's creativity. Popular metrics amongst marketers and CMOs. There are literally hundreds of possible metrics to use. Here are a few categories of metrics popular amongst marketers and CMOs. Demographics and interest reports will help you understand your audience. Reach will measure your ability to reach and engage your audience segments. Channel effectiveness shows how people find you through paid, earned, and owned media. Engagement reveals how people interact with your content and talk to you through social media, ratings, reviews, comments, etc. Think of performance or any technical constraints which might come in the way of the user experience. And lead generation and conversion data represents the desired outcome from your marketing activities. Of course, revenue play a big role in financial viability. And don't forget satisfaction, which fuel long-term sustainability and growth. The tools of the trade. When it comes to digital analytics, they often act as the central hub for your behavioral data. But each social media platform also has their own analytics. There are a few market leaders like Google Analytics and Adobe Analytics, as well as a multitude of niche players. The leading platforms share a lot of similarities, and oftentimes it is difficult to delineate what are essential features from what are just nice to have that you might never use. Nowadays, the leaders also provide a whole suite of tools besides the core web analytics features. So the clear leaders are Google Analytics and Adobe Analytics, but there are many other solutions which will offer unique benefits, such as more personalized service, a greater focus on privacy, more marketing automation capabilities, or a stronger presence in some geographic areas. One thing is certain, the marketing technology landscape is very, very complex. Even the digital analytics stack is quite complex. Digital analytics stack example. As with the MarTech landscape discussed earlier, visualizing your digital analytics stack will help understand the complex links and ramification of data within your organization and uncover untapped opportunities. This can be represented in multiple layers. First, the customer layer is where data is being collected, your web analytics solution, social media analytics, email campaign data, etc. Then comes the advertising layer, data from the advertising platform and campaign tracking tools that you're using. All this data is stored and manipulated in the analytics layer, where it can be combined with sales and CRM data. Machine learning and predictive tools are involved at the business intelligence layer. And finally, results are presented in dashboards and reports at the business rules layer. This mapping exercise should be done jointly with your IT and other people involved with the various layers of this simple model. The key takeaways from the analytics lesson are: remember, digital marketing can't be dissociated from digital analytics. While analytics is the science of analysis, analysis is the process of breaking a complex topic into smaller parts to gain a better understanding of it. Understanding the business context, leveraging data, and being creative will blend together to the marketer's advantage. Various demographics, reach, engagement, lead generation, conversion, and more metrics can be used to evaluate the marketing efforts and outcomes of your marketing initiatives. Your ability to leverage online behavior gathered with the help of web analytics tools, combined with real business outcomes data from your back office system, will determine how far you can grow on the digital analytics maturity scale.